Hey guys, welcome back. This is Bernardo from the BTN, short for BJTechNews. So I received a request a while back. I actually put it on the back burner, and I completely forgot about it. And Joe, that dog, about a month ago, which was a long time ago, wanted me to touch base on WDS and PXE using MDT 2013. And I really thought that I did a video for this, and when I searched my library, I had no video, so I was a little bit disappointed on it today. Had another gentleman kind of said, "Hey, hello, I want you to upload the video, waiting for it," and I was like, I'm going to push it to my to-do list, which I did, and I'm doing it today. So let's get started. So the environment that I have so far is I have a Windows Server 2012. I'm actually using the data center one, build 9200. I installed the MDT 2013, and I imported Windows 8.1 64-bit as an operating system. And for the task sequence, I just created a standard task sequence. So that's about it. Once you create your task sequence, best practice is update your deployment, and you're good to go. Now that's the MDT part. So where the WDS and the PXE boot comes. I believe with Windows Server 2008 and 2008 R2 and 2012, there's a role called Windows Deployment Services, which I'm going to show you how to install it. So let's close our benchmark or our workbench, and let's get into our server manager. And within our server manager, we're going to go to manage. We're going to need to add a role and feature. We're going to click on next. It's a role-based or a feature-based installation. That's what we need. We're not doing any remote desktop. We're going to hit next. As you can see, I didn't change the name of my virtual machine, but most likely whatever machine that you're installing the WDS, most likely it would be your MDT server. Just click on it. By default, it's going to get highlighted. Click next. And then from here, go all the way to the bottom, and then you got Windows Deployment Services. As you can see in the description, it basically says provides a simplified, secure means of rapidly and remotely deploying Windows operating system to computers over the network. Now, I want you guys to understand that WDS is like MDT. You can actually create WIN files or WIN images, import them within your WDS, and push them out that way. MDT, what it does is you could take like a regular CD, a regular DVD, Windows 7, Windows 8 DVD operating system install, import all those files into your MDT deployment, automate all your applications, automate all your drivers by telling MDT, okay, if this specific laptop or machine is in our network and being deployed using MDT, push out these drivers. Again, you guys could go check out my MDT 2013 and also my 2010, 2012 MDT playlist, which I cover all that stuff. If I didn't cover, hey, shoot me a comment right below and let me know what I didn't cover, and I am going to do it for you guys. So let's check Windows Deployment Services. It's going to want you to add all this stuff. Just add all the features that you need. Hit next. And you don't need anything else, and we're going to hit next. With the roles and services within Server 2012, make sure by default deployment server and transport server is selected, so just keep them as is. Hit next, and if you want, you could restart the destination, but that's really up to you. Hit install, and that's about it. So once it's installed, I'm going to show you guys how to configure it. Okay, and we're back. So as you can see on the screen, installation is successful. Awesome. We're going to close it. As if you notice on my server management dashboard, I got a WDS green, means it's healthy. For me, in my eyes, what I normally like to do is when I install a new role or feature within a server, I like to reboot the machine, but I'm not going to reboot my virtual machine, my testing machine. So let's get into our start menu. And we want to locate our WDS, which is this guy right here. I'm going to just basically right click on it, and I'm going to pin it to the task board, and I'm going to click on it. And once you get it up and running, you get two nodes. Now I believe this second node came out when 2008 R2 came out. It's really handy. If you guys are interested in how to configure this, let me know. Leave a comment right below, and I will create a video for it. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to get it up and running and test it out. So you want to click on your server, and you're going to see basically your server that's not configured. So we need to configure it. So we're going to right click, configure server, and you're going to get all this. Read this if you want. I normally click next. Do you want to integrate? If you want to integrate this with Active Directory, go right ahead. If not, you can do a standalone server. Configure the server so that the standalone operating system independently of the Active Directory. I like to integrate it with the Active Directory. So we're going to hit next. Pick a location of where these files and folders will be located. Best practice I like to do is put it on the D drive, E drive, or secondary partition, not on the C drive where the operating system is at. But because this is testing, I'm just going to leave it on the C drive for now. Hit next. And it's going to basically give you, it's going to say, hey, system warning, do not put it on your C drive. But I'm just going to say go for it. And now, this is where the security issue with the PXE booting happens. If you do not respond to any client computers, which is a no-no, that means if you PXE boot, none of your computers are going to talk to your PXE server. Response only to known client computers. To do that, you basically need like a wish list. You're going to be adding all your machines into this wish list, and MDT is or your PXE boot server is going to be like, okay, if this machine is not part of this wish list, I can't deploy. I like to do response to all client computers, known or unknown. If you're really tight with security, you could do a administrative approval to unknown computers, but that's really up to you. I'm going to keep it as response to all client computers. We're going to hit next, and the computer is not currently joined to a domain. This is true. My machine is not part of the Active Directory, so it's, you know, it's one of those standalone. So I'm just going to hit finish. And we're gonna go configure, and we're gonna do a standalone server. Next, next, yes. Response to all, next, and let it do its copy. So now the standalone basically means it's not gonna be part of Active Directory. This PXE server is not part of Active Directory. That is why it didn't go through. Now, if you guys are part of an Active Directory, pick that first option. I completely forgot that this machine wasn't an Active Directory, so that's pretty weird, but whatever. Create a standalone if you guys do not want this to be part of your Active Directory. I know a lot of people was like, but I don't want to deploy, I don't have like a huge domain, I don't want to add this in a domain. Hey, you could do it as a standalone. Add images to the server now. I'm going to uncheck that now. I'm going to hit finish, and as you can see, that exclamation point is gone. You got a nice green button, a play button, meaning it's healthy. Awesome. So it is time for your MDT and your WDS to talk to each other and work as one. So the way that you do that is within your boot images. As you can see, I don't have anything in it. If I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to show you, if we go into our deployment share, this is our deployment share from my MDT server, and I believe if we go into boot, within boot, you're going to see two ISO files, two disk images. One is 64 and one is 86. Okay, those are the ones that you want. Actually, the WIM files, these are the two that you need. These are the two files that you're going to be importing within your PXE server. You got your 64-bit WIM and you got your 86-bit WIM. Okay, so we need to go into our WDS server. We're going to right click on our boot images, add a boot image. We're going to browse, and we're going to browse inside that deployment share. So C drive, deployment share, boot, as you can see, is only going to view the WIM files. So I think we're going to do this one by one. So let's do the 86-bit. I'm going to hit next, give it a name. I'm going to leave it as default. Next, next, and it's going to import. Awesome. So once that's completed, hit finish, and just basically do the same thing. You know, right click on boot images, add a boot image, go to browse. It's going to basically go to the same location that you just inserted your last WIM image. So I'm going to do the 64, open. We're going to hit next, and we're going to hit next again, and hit next. Okay, so once your last WIM image, or your 64-bit or 86-bit, whichever, you know, way you did it, is finished, just hit finish, and there you go. You have your two WIM image, which are these are your boot images. This is going to allow you to boot into a 64-bit or 86-bit environment, depending on what operating system you guys are pushing out. For me, because of my deployment share, I am pushing out a 64-bit. So when it comes down to picking which boot image I want to push out or get into, I will be picking the 64-bit, which I'm going to show you guys. So once you import your boot images, what I like to do is right click on your server and just go to all tasks and just restart it. Restarting is just one of those things that I like to do, and it's restarted. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little smaller, and again, I'm using VM Workstation. So this is my host machine right here. This is where I keep all my VMs, and I'm going to drop everything inside BJ-temp. As you can see, I have no files in there. Got it? And let's create a new virtual machine. And I'm going to go to new, next, and this is going to be a Microsoft product, and it's going to be Windows 86. I want it to be dropped in here, and this is going to be the name of it. So I'm just doing a lot of copy and paste. We're going to go next on this. I'm going to give it a nice small little size. Let's give it a 5, and we're going to hit next, and we're going to hit finish. Okay. Now, as you can see, I don't have anything mounted to the CD at all, so I am going to boot this, and I'm going to try my hardest to get into F12. There we go. I'm clicking F12. As you can see, my DHCP. Excellent. Awesome. So this is what your PXE boot does. This is what your WDS server does. So now I'm able to hit the 64-bit. It's going inside the server, which is 192.168.129.60. If I go inside my PXE boot server and I do like a WinR, right? And I go to CMD and I do a IP config. As you can see, that's the IP address of my WD server. So this is basically going to run its course. It's going to go inside your MDT server, run all the custom files, run the scripts for you to log into your MDT server, pick your task sequence, and then push out your operating system. So as you can see, it's doing its thing. Because I'm running everything in a small kind of virtual environment, it runs a little bit slow, but depending on your pipeline and your network pipeline, it's going to work. Now, you probably have some issues with your WDS or PXE booting over your network. This is the reason that you're having this issue is because probably you have multiple subnets. If you have multiple subnets within your environment, that means you have to do a little bit of configuring your switches. I know in this, I don't know about HP switches, and I don't know about Dell switches, but I know Cisco switches. I believe layer 2 or layer 3 switches, you need to go inside your switch and configure your configuration, your global configuration to IP helper. IP helper, what it does is no matter where your WDS server is located, when you initiate that PXE boot on a different subnet, that machine is going to talk to your WDS no matter what, because you have that IP helper within your switch. If not, if you have one subnet with your entire network, just hook up your WDS within that switch, and then you're good to go. As you can see, it's running. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for requesting this video and giving me a nudge. And if you have any questions, again, if I forgot anything about MDT and you guys want me to touch base, hey, leave it right below the comment section. Just let me know. Don't forget about hitting that like button, and also go to my Google Plus page and give me a +1. I love those +1s, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.